Oh, dude. But shoot, we went over some cool stuff today. We
Absolutely.
hit up Cinco de Mayo. We hit up
Shout out.
some dang cultural, dilemmas. We hit up, what else did we hit? Some mental health issues that
Absolutely.
we can overcome. Anxiety being the biggest one. Fear, getting
Mhm.
through that. Find ways to go through that. And of
Absolutely.
course, dude, hitting on that dang fight night, fight
Yeah,
week,
buddy.
all the
Fight.
events happening in Clinton, Oklahoma.
And that's just the beginning of their weekend too.
Discipline and drive, personal trainer mindset, helping you thrive. Raise a glass, let's level up your health. This is cheers to health.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Cheers to Health. Of course, you got to have me. Hey, who that is? Mr. Bryan, that bad man with the mustache, Torres. And of course, I've got to have Omar, Omar Torres. What's going on, everybody?
What's up? What's up? So, dude, it's fight week.
It is
Are
fight
you
week.
ready?
We are hours away from weigh-in, and we are just 2 sleeps away from fight night. Are y'all ready? Because I know I'm ready. Are y'all ready for
I'm
this?
ready.
It's about to go down in Clinton, Oklahoma. Who thought we would have been saying this a year ago?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is
It was
crazy.
something that we were talking about, and now it's coming into reality.
Absolutely.
Sheesh, dude. With that, though, is like, dude, are you ready for your part? Okay. Because you are going to be there. You've already started your journey through, TikTok
Mhm.
of, overcoming anxiety. And I
Yep.
know that's one of your biggest, if not the biggest obstacle that you have yet to overcome. So this is
Absolutely.
gonna be a big deal for you, dude.
It is, man. And I'm sorry for everybody if I've seemed a little distant lately. I again overthink everything and I get anxious. But I feel like I've kind of found a harmony. It's okay to be anxious. I'm anxious for a few different reasons. I've got memory there. I've got, my going back and doing that drive. Like I was telling Omar, I feel like it's a full circle kind of moment for me because when I first started, I don't want to say going downhill, but when my anxiety was really, really acting up was about 4 years ago. Whenever I did attempt to go to Clinton, Oklahoma, and it didn't go as planned. I had a panic attack. I freaked out is what I call it. I had a freak out, and I just turned around. And that caused me, moving forward to kind of turn around in certain things, and be avoidant and dismissive to things that made me feel uncomfortable. And it took me a long ways. It still is till this day a bit of a hassle at times to do things. Because we tend to wire our minds like, okay, that's uncomfortable. We need to stay away from that. Or more comfortable over here. I'm just gonna stay in my lane. So tomorrow we're gonna go to the weigh-ins. We're gonna go to the weigh-ins, okay? Oh, ready or not, here we come, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the weigh-ins
And
tomorrow.
can you tell us, like, the steps that got you to where you're at now? Like, what kind of things have you been doing to build up to going into the weigh-ins tomorrow?
So it's a lot, like I said, rewiring the mind. It's a lot of positive and reaffirmations to yourself. Letting yourself know like you've done this before. Like I've been to Germany and it's a place I've never thought I would go overseas. I've done and I've driven to North Dakota and back. I've done so much, and now for whatever reason I've told myself that I couldn't do these things. I've wired my mind to say that hey, you're uncomfortable, you can't do this for whatever reason. And it's just reassuring yourself that you can do it. You're gonna get uncomfortable and that's okay. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. And just doing some exposure therapy as I shared on my TikTok. So if you guys want to follow the TikTok, it's Brian Torres C2H, I think it is Brian Torres C2H. Follow the TikTok. I will be posting more on there. Like I said, just this past week, I did get overwhelmed with it. I got a little anxious about it, and I was a little distanced and didn't really want to. Just because I get overwhelmed, I got anxious, but it's okay. It's okay to be anxious. We're still gonna do it tomorrow. We're gonna go to Clinton, Oklahoma, and we're gonna be there supporting all the fighters, supporting the sponsors. We're gonna do it all, and we're gonna be there, and we're not gonna let anxiety hold us back. And it's okay, to be anxious, but we still gotta show up.
Yeah. No, that's true. You gotta get, like we talk about here and there. is, and you hear it everywhere too. It's like get comfortable with the uncomfortable or whatever it is you're gonna be in situations where you're not gonna feel the best. But you gotta get through it by doing it. You gotta get through it by, putting your toe in the water or whatever it is. And that's how, you start overcoming those fears and anxieties. And I was just yeah, and I told you, I was talking to Brian about this because my son, he did not want to be quarterback. And we
Mhm.
need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. And I told him, I was like, hey, bro, you got to step up. I need you. I need you. He was like, no, I'm good here. I just want to be a receiver. I was like, why, dude? Like, why don't you want to step up? Like, he's like, I just, I'm not comfortable. I don't feel like I do the best or I can't make the decisions in a, quick time or something like that. Like,
Mhm.
dude, you can't get good at something if you don't try it. You don't
Absolutely.
even know. Like, let's see, let's practice. And just like anything else, the more we do, the better we get at it. That's the
Absolutely.
same thing with anything else. If it's something like going to the gym, if we're not comfortable initially, yeah, it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be weird. You're gonna be thinking everybody's judging you. They're not. They're not worried about you,
Yeah,
but
and
that's
it
what
goes
you're
back to
thinking.
public speaking. Like I said, I'm the most anxious person you guys. I was the most anxious person. Where I was told to speak in front of a crowd, and I was like, "Oh, gosh," and of course I was shaking, and I'm sure they couldn't see it, but my knees were about to give out on me, boys. They're about to give out on me. I thought I was gonna faint. But I did it, and then you get like a little rush after. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't, I did that, I couldn't, and then of course, doing it again, you're like, "Oh gosh." You get a little bit more anxious, but again, it's just getting comfortable with it, and then sooner or later, now I'm not saying I'm a public speaker, but I can get in front of a crowd and say my piece as long as I come prepared, and, I'm pretty good. I just say what I gotta say and thank y'all, and I'm pretty good, pretty decent, with wing and stuff. You guys know I'm pretty good bullshitter, so I am pretty good at just improvising and just if I need to get a little smile to get my own self-confidence up, I'm usually able to do
Yeah, and there's ways to, get
it.
yourself in the groove of things. Like with
Mhm.
the podcast, man, we didn't come in here talking like this. We were a little bit, unsure of ourselves, thinking about what we're gonna say next, trying to, fit this certain, I guess, criteria of a podcast and what it should be like. But we can't be doing that, bro. Like then we're gonna be looking like AI characters on here
Yeah,
or,
because
something
if
else.
a great example of that is Omar Torres. If you guys are not following
Yeah,
his
that's true.
Instagram page, I don't know where else he posted, but this guy he's shown such tremendous strides in his social media game. It is crazy, man. Sometimes I'm like, that's that Omar? And I mean, I have to give him his freaking kudos for that because he has done so great. Like I said, when he first started off, he was really hesitant on just talking in the mic, which I mean, we all are at first. I mean, even now, if I try to record myself doing something, I'm going to be a little hesitant about it. But I feel like Omar has just gone leaps and bounds from where he was not even a few months ago to where he is now on just the stuff that he is putting together and how comfortable he is with the screen. I mean, it could be a different story him posting it before he posted, but what he's putting out now is just great, man. So honestly,
True.
good job.
That's true. No, but even when we had Jody on, she's a mentor of mine, a personal trainer, life coach, and she was talking about that where whenever I first, met up with her, there was no way that, I was comfortable in front of the camera. There was no way I was able to communicate with somebody like this or, multiple people. I can talk to somebody one on one comfortably, but when it comes to a crowd, whenever it comes to even more than two people, I'm like, spotlight's on me. But, those things, just like we said, you got to keep doing it to get comfortable, especially if it's something that you want to do,
Hmm.
like me, like us. We want to be able to reach out to as many people as possible and help them out whichever way we can through life struggles, through busy schedules, whatever it is, and communicate that well. And we can't do that if we don't practice, just like anything else. We got to practice. We got to keep doing it and we'll get better. We'll get that, that instant, feedback when it comes to, okay, what question do you have? Bro, I got you. This is what we're going to do.
Hmm.
And even when we talk to guests, like getting those questions that the audience would, like to hear from or for is, maybe we're not thinking about it at that moment, but we'll go back to some of those and be like, "Okay, dang, dude, we should have said that, but
Mhm.
now we know for next time." That's why,
Yeah, and
whatever
it
it
goes
is,
back
whatever
to
journey you're on, it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a
yep.
struggle for sure.
Mhm.
Keep on it, dude. Keep
Yeah,
on it
absolutely.
because you're gonna get better and you're gonna be successful. Just gotta keep working.
And that always goes back to me whenever people try to go work out with me or like get advice from me. And I'm not saying I'm like a professional athlete or anything, but I'm pretty comfortable in there now, you know. But they didn't see the numerous times that I had to, I stopped working out and went back in there, stopped working out and went back in there. And how many times I just started off with the bar, especially doing squats or even doing bench press, just starting off at the bar, just because I knew that my form was not right. And me trying to ego lift for somebody who doesn't even know me, who isn't even watching me was silly because I'm ended up hurting myself or, being too sore where I can't come back the next day. So again, that just goes back to we got to start somewhere. It doesn't matter where you're starting off. Like I said, you have no idea how many times I started off with the bar and just to make sure I've gotten the form right, and just making sure that we're not doing anything that we shouldn't be doing or lifting improper weight and just starting really light because we all had to start somewhere. We all had to start from the beginning, from just and it's crazy because nowadays I see some kids who I'm thinking they need help lifting the bar because I was until after high school honestly where I was like I was able to
Oh
pick up
yeah.
the bar and these kids are I'm like okay dude add some weight to that and like okay and then they'll put on like 25s I'm like well not that much he said no I can do it sure enough just popping it I'm like okay well you can good job but
Go ahead.
it goes back to warming up too make sure you warm up.
Well, that and don't be afraid to ask for help. That is one thing that I still struggle with. I'm getting better at it, but it's hard to I don't know what it is, dude. Is it like how we grew up or what like we have to do everything ourselves? I don't
Trust
know
me, I,
what
I
the
get
deal
that.
is.
I get that 1000% because I'm till this day struggling to ask for help. I mean, in the gym, I feel a little bit more comfortable because I'm not afraid to be like, hey, because I know. I guess I've got a comfortable kind of group around me now. Where if I'm struggling with something, like, hey, bro, how do you do this? Like, what's the right way to doing this? Or just ask like, hey, am I doing this right? I'm usually like, okay, yeah, this looks pretty good, but let's do this instead, and maybe do that. Or I wouldn't recommend this workout. Maybe try this. So I mean, I always don't hesitate to ask, and because a lot of people are nicer than they look. Even sometimes when I go in there, if I don't have whatever, sometimes you might be like, that guy's pissed off. He ain't mess with nobody. But no, I'm just in there to get the workout in. But still, if anybody needs any help, I would be like, you'll see this little grumpy guy be like, hey, what's up, buddy? How can I help you? What's up? And a lot of people are like that, especially the bigger guys. I've always noticed that the bigger guys, they're always the coolest, but they always look like the meanest guys there, and don't mess with them. But they're usually big dudes who want to share it because that's all they know most of the time. They know how to work out and they know how to do it because I mean their physique shows for itself. So they always do enjoy it. I mean, some people are in there for training and have a strict schedule. So I mean, if you see somebody like maybe hitting it pretty good, and you're like, okay, he looks busy. Maybe not mess with that person. But if you
Yeah.
see somebody who's maybe taking a break, like, hey, bro, you got just 2 seconds? We can watch me, or just see if I'm doing this right, or even asking for a spot. Because I know a lot of us, we want to lift a little bit heavier after we're at the right time where we can, try to get a little bit more reps in. Don't be scared to ask for a spot, because that spot will also help you. Because sometimes, sure, you can put the bars up and whatnot, but sometimes just if you have it in your mind, like, "I don't know if I'm gonna get this one," then most time you're gonna be like, "Okay, boom, I ain't got it, I'm not gonna do it." But if you got a spotter, it's almost like another gear
Yeah.
just shifts into gear, and you're like,
That's
"Okay, well,
true.
almost like I gotta do it," even though now you should be safer, but now you're like, "No, I gotta do it now," and boom, and you end up busting out, maybe get 2 more, and then that guy might actually, "Hey, you got 1 more in you," and then boom, before you know, you got
Mhm.
another one in you. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of that too, of, like I said, just asking for help, I know a lot of us are like me and Omar, we don't really like to ask for help either. But there's it's time for us to grow up, and ask for some help.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. There's a lot of things where, I'm fortunate to have, you know, my wife and, whenever it comes to the podcast, Brian, but there's other situations like the gym where it's like, okay, there's a situation. I need a spot. I get a little hesitant. I'm like, no, he's busy. Yeah, be respectful. But also, if you need a spot, be like, hey man, when you got time, can you please spot me or whatever it is. And if you go in there regularly, like you're gonna build some friendships there. You're gonna build some kind of connections there where you're gonna feel more comfortable being like, hey,
Absolutely.
can you take a sec? Just watch me. just be there. You don't need to touch the bar or nothing. Boom. Just be there in case, I don't know, I hit that wall. Because you do
Yeah.
hit that wall.
No,
Stop
trust me,
in
I've
there,
hit it.
dude. You hit that wall and
I've
you're
hit
like,
it so many times. And that was I heard something the other day, and I don't know why I just thought of it, man. How we all go to the gym, to pretty much hit our failure. We're not afraid to fail inside the gym, but we're afraid to fail outside of the gym. You know, so it's okay to fail outside of the gym as well. Like there's gonna be times where we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna fail. It's okay. Just like in the gym, shit. I failed so many times, but then guess what? I kept working at it, kept working, and then I got it. And that's the same thing with anything else. It's okay to fail. We're gonna fail. I mean, that's just what it is. We're gonna fail. We're gonna fail. We're gonna fail. If you ain't failing, you ain't trying. To be honest with you, so get out there
that's
and do
true.
it and fail. Fail,
Yeah.
because that's where you
Exactly.
learn the most.
Yeah.
Especially when we used to ride bulls.
Exactly.
That was something that we would do. I mean, sure, you could still learn from your wins, but you get a lot more from your losses. A lot more from your losses. You get to go back to the drawing
It's
board
true.
and see, oh, what could I have done differently to prevent this from happening now? Okay, and so, like I said, go out there and fail. I encourage everybody to go out there and fail, and learn from it and keep moving
Anything.
forward. Don't let it discourage you.
Get in there. Yeah, that's what I tell the boys when they do jujitsu. If they lost or they were struggling with something, like, dude, that's fine. Now we learn how not to get into that situation, how to get out of that situation. That's the way you learn and get better. It's
Because I
okay.
mean, even
We're
working
not
on
gonna
your
win them
car,
all.
how do we learn how to fix stuff around our house? Because something
Yeah,
fucks up, you know. So
yeah,
we have to learn from something failing. And I mean, there's been so many times where I've had to learn stuff because I messed it up. So I'm like, okay, now how are we gonna fix it? What do we do moving forward for this not to happen again? So it's okay. We're all
that
gonna make mistakes, but it's about
that's how
making
I,
that mistake and moving forward.
that's how I love learning because I'm always failing. I always gotta learn something,
Yeah,
whether it's
and that,
with a computer,
there's
with
nothing
something
wrong with
around the
that.
house. Sheesh, I'm not
Because
perfect. I'm not
that
perfect at
makes you
all. I'm
more
not
knowledgeable,
saying.
I feel like. I mean, if you see a lot of handy people, they're handy for a reason, you know? And a lot of people who didn't come from
That's
much,
true.
they're really knowledgeable because they know how to make something out of nothing, So
Yeah.
always improve, man. There's always room for improvements. I'm always hard on myself and hard on others just because I know we can do better. I'm probably my hardest critic. And that's why I've got so many issues upstairs sometimes because I'm always and I talk nicer to myself, so I better calm down. Okay, I talk nice to myself.
Yeah. We gotta
I am
yeah.
able.
I
I
was
am
talking to
capable.
somebody just recently too. One of my clients, she was like, what was it? We were talking about something, and I was like, don't even think that way. When it comes to losing weight or whatever it is, don't go into that slippery slope of, ooh, because we do get into that situation where 1 second we're proud of ourselves. We're like, oh man, we're looking good. Look at that.
Mhm,
And then the next second, we haven't changed anything. And we're just like,
mhm.
what the dude, come
Yep,
on. Seriously?
yep.
I gotta no, dude. Go back up.
Yes, yes.
Positive affirmations. And
Absolutely.
Brian, yeah, we talk about this is you gotta speak those words. You gotta throw them
Yep.
out there into the universe because that's how you know what's gonna happen. Throw it out
Mhm,
there, it's gonna happen, bro. Okay?
mm.
And she was
And a
talking
a
about
lot of us, we get
winning the
stuck in
lottery. I was like, throw it
yep,
out there. Never know.
yep.
Never know.
Anything, throw it out there. Throw it out there. You don't know how many crazy stories I've heard of people just,
Mhm.
speaking it, and believing it, and then boom, there they go. Kind of like, I mean, we're gonna go back to Rumble in the Jungle. You know, we spoke about it and we believed that we could do it, and guess what? May 1st in Clinton, Oklahoma, at the Jungle, we are gonna have
Yep.
some boxing fights, and it's gonna be a show, folks. So everybody, come on out. It's gonna be
Oh yeah.
an event, man. It's gonna be one
It's gonna be
for
an
the
event.
history books. It's gonna be a good
Yeah.
one.
It's gonna be a whole weekend event, it feels like.
Yep.
And it's a perfect timing because it's also around Cinco de Mayo.
Shout out.
And dude, all kinds of stuff, whether it's the carne asada, whether
Oh
it's
yeah.
the music, the
Maybe some
freaking
Coronas. Shout out. Shout
some
out some
Coronas, some
Coronas.
tequila, all that stuff.
Shout out.
Getting a little turn, but responsibly, stay
Dance
hydrated
the
as
night
well,
away.
take a little drink here and there, water. What'd you say?
Maybe dance the night away too. You know.
Yes, cardio, dancing. No,
Yep.
but that's something I wanted to talk about was if you're not making the fight, okay, but you're still celebrating the Cinco de Mayo, okay? There's different ways we can go about this and stay healthy, because if you think about it, a lot of the Mexican foods they can be healthy, man. It's just on how you portion it out.
There
Don't
you
get
go.
crazy with the tortilla chips and the salsa. Yeah, put the
Sorry.
salsa on whatever. I mean, you got salsa's good. It's veggies. Boom. Awesome. Good
And then
topper.
if it's hot stuff, you know,
Tacos.
it gets the heart rate going a little bit and get a little sweat
Yeah.
going. You know, it's
Got
actually
vitamin
kind of good for
C.
you. Yeah. So
Yeah. And also, for Brian, the tortillas, corn tortillas, gluten free.
shout out. Yep.
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
You don't have to go to the flour. Make some tacos.
Or some
Boom.
almond flour tortillas that are
Okay, now he's getting carried away,
delicioso.
bro. See that?
Woohoo!
I went into
Delicioso.
that zone. I shouldn't even. But always, like I always talk about, prioritize protein. So you can make some tacos with some dang chicken, some
Shout
lean
out.
meat,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
shrimp tacos, get
Now
some
with little
dang.
shrimp.
Yeah. But if you
Is
want to go a
shrimp
little
good
bit
for you?
fattier, of course, man, get you some beef. Get some beef in there. But
Or
try
some
to get a
steak
little bit
tacos?
leaner cuts,
Can we
especially
get some
with the.
can we get some steak
What'd you say?
tacos?
Yeah, well, not some super heavy. I mean, you're gonna get some carne asada. I usually have that flatter steak, so it's not too much. You can portion it out easily. I mean, you can get carried away easily as well. And yeah, those are the foods, man. I mean, get some protein, some veggies, a little bit of carbs in there. Just
Oh
be,
yeah.
mindful of how much you get in there. And for the drinks, what kind of drinks you thinking?
I'm thinking maybe a Diet Coke with some tequila.
Shit, I don't know about that
Give me
mixture
some
right there, dude.
Coronas, boy.
I don't know about that
Give me a
mixture. I was gonna go
Modelo.
more
It's
like agua
Modelo
de melon or
time.
something like that. Some dang melon water, cantaloupe water.
Sorry, I went the
But you're
wrong
over
way.
here.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, we can get some some watermelon water. You know, it's pretty much just like a watermelon with some water and they mix it up. Or the horchata. You guys ever had horchata? The horchata, if you put some rum or some vodka in there, maybe tequila to get
They got that rum chata nowadays.
that's what it was, rum chata. I used to mess with that. That's pretty good.
It's too
Again, drink
sweet, bro. Can't be
responsibly.
doing
Okay,
that.
drink responsibly. Okay, this
Yeah,
is yeah.
yeah, yeah. Get turned, but
I got a speeding
responsible.
ticket the other day. Did I tell you?
Dang, dude, this is not a good segue for that because we're talking about drinking, and then now you're going to speeding.
That's another thing. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't drink and drive.
Not at all. But why'd you get a speeding ticket, man? Why you rushing? You ain't got nowhere to
Yeah, I was
rush
going to
to.
church, bro. I was going to church,
You
and
need
I
to
was
be
hitting
on
this back
time.
road, and just in a hurry, just in a hurry to praise, hallelujah. It was worship night, man. It was such a good message yesterday, man. It was so good. I literally I teared up a little bit. It was a good message. Yeah, I needed it.
You gotta do that. You gotta
I
do that
needed it.
sometimes.
I did.
A little crying here and there.
Well, I wish I
You
would
know,
have like
let the
I wanted to
emotions
I wanted a
roll.
real cry, but it was just like a little I just glazed the eyes a little bit. But I wanted to get in there and just let it all go. But we're on our way. You know, it's a step in the right direction.
There you go.
You know, take care of your mental health.
You gotta do that. That's one of the big things. I think when we talk about Cinco de Mayo, we think about the Mexican culture, of course. And for us, I don't think we growing up anyways, we didn't immerse ourselves so much into the culture due to, some side of it, our families were a little more, like super faithful, and it was hard to balance, being able to do the things that the culture does and also be religious to a point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember, like
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
we didn't have a lot of and stuff when you see out there, like they're always having parties, through even there was a video I saw. It was like a 3-year-old birthday party, still getting turned. Like they had cases of beer and stuff like that coming out of the truck bed. And yeah, we didn't really get into that side, but the culture itself is awesome, man. I mean, just seeing what kind of things, and I'm proud of being Mexican, and I'm proud of the culture that it has and all the things behind it. I'm trying to get my dang, what's it call it? My Spanish up, man. I'm trying to get it up, trying to get it better.
Can you give us
Especially,
an example?
okay, estoy con mi hija, tiene 11 meses y um, quiere leche.
Shout out. Shout out. Shout out. I like it. I like it.
No, I feel like I'm better whenever I'm actually conversating. So if we were talking, I'd be like, "Oh, pues sí, fue a la tienda y pues venir para atrás y haré las cosas que necesito y blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm
Well,
trying.
and again, it goes back to what I feel like my mom would tell us. It's something we do have, but it's like back there. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's subconsciously we blocked it away. Because of growing up here and going to public schools where it was. I'm not saying it was frowned upon to speak it, but I mean nobody spoke it, so we were just like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
We were the only
Uh, so
only
whenever
Mexicans there.
I have a couple of cervezas in me, I feel like I'm fluent, because sometimes I'd be having a full blown, but I want to talk to the guy the next day and be like, hey, what's like, did you guys understand me? Because we be chopping it up sometimes, and I feel like I'm flowing, and I don't even know if I'm making sense the next day. But that at that time, it's like we're flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And in the military, you have people from different backgrounds and there's people, they speak Spanish, but are from different countries. So from like Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Colombia, whatever it is, they
Yeah.
got different dialects. They got
Trust
different.
me, I know. Yeah.
And I remember I was drinking in the dorms or like outside. I don't know what it was, but I felt comfortable. I was like, oh, yeah, si hablo
Oh yeah.
español. And then these people, well, I don't remember what, I think they're Costa Rican or something, but they're like, they wouldn't say like on Torres, they don't say, well, they say Torre instead of
Oh,
Torres.
okay. Yeah.
Just Torre. So everything was like shortened. And that's
Yeah.
how I was like talking because I was like going, I was like feeding off of what how they were
Yeah.
talking. I was like, you don't even talk like this. Like
Yeah.
this isn't
Yeah.
even.
I work with some Puerto Ricans, and they're like that too. Because I mean, like I said, it's just different. That's why a lot of times I can understand and put it together, but like I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, bro, I don't know what that is. Like, what is this that you're speaking of?
Yeah. And I had a client, she spoke nothing but Spanish, and I think she was Colombian. And she would speak to me in Spanish. I'd understand it, but it was fast.
Oh
So I'd
yeah.
be like, oh, wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, 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 I get you. And then I try to
Yeah.
like, you know, go
Sometimes,
back
man,
and
it's just too
forth.
fast. I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I slow down.
I'm like, I don't speak
That,
Spanish. I'm just kidding.
that's a thing where, well, I feel like in the culture, it kinda sucks because in the family, for instance, when we try to reintroduce Spanish into, our everyday life and we go and try to speak it or something like that, it felt like I was discouraged a little bit because I wasn't as comfortable and I felt like, "Oh, they're judging me," or something like that, like,
Hmm.
"Ese güero," like,
Yeah.
and it felt
Yeah.
kinda weird, like, where that definitely set me off where I was like, "Ah, yeah, I'm not even gonna try then." Like, you know what I
No,
mean? Is
absolutely. Yeah,
that how you
absolutely.
feel?
Absolutely. Even to this day, like when I used to work on airplanes, there's this guy who's from Mexico. So I mean, even to this day, I mean, even when my mom speaks, it's Spanglish for the most part, whether we want to agree with it or not, it's Spanglish. And so when I would talk to him sometimes, he'd correct me on a lot of things because I would still be saying different words that are Spanglish, but for him, he had to correct me, like, "Hey, that's not how you say refrigerator. That's a," because I forgot how I would say it, and how he said it. I'm just like, my fault, bro." I'm like, "Jeez." Said, "No, it's okay." But he was really nice. I mean, it wasn't too degrading, but it was just like, "Dang, dude, okay, like we get what we're saying."
And I think that goes because I remember talking to my mom about this, and there's certain parts of Mexico where they talk a certain way, where it's more proper, and then in the other side, it's like a little more slang, a little more lax, and even then, people get judged. It's like, dude, it's like now you're lesser than because you talk this way.
Hmm.
Which is hopefully it's not like that anymore. I feel like it should be more accepting and more, like, hey, there we go. At least you're
Hmm.
trying, bro. But I feel like, especially nowadays, bro, you'll see a lot of Mexican people and the younger generation, they don't speak Spanish at all.
Mm-mm.
And there's something to it where people, like I talked to one of my buddies and he said, his lady doesn't speak it because she's, I think, second generation, and the dad was like, "We're not even gonna touch that because we don't wanna be, labeled some kinda way, or we don't wanna, make them
Yeah.
think that we're illegal or something like that." So, I can see that too. We weren't in that position where we were worried in that aspect because
Yeah.
our mom was always pushing us to speak Spanish, but I can
Which
see
I
it
think it's a
from that.
benefit to speak it, man. I mean, I understand where they could come from, but I mean, I feel like it's nothing but a benefit to be able to speak, Spanish or another language, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, it's awesome to learn another language, whether it's Spanish, German, French, whatever it is. But hey, I gotta be straight up with you, dude. Okay, if we're in America, we gotta speak English. I see a
No,
lot of people.
I'm not disagreeing with that
Go
at
ahead.
all. But
Yeah,
it
yeah,
would be beneficial to speak 2 languages. No, like I said, no matter
yeah, yeah,
what other
for
language
sure,
it is.
for sure.
I mean, that would be nothing but good for you. Like, there's been plenty of times where using 2 languages has helped me out a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Like I said though, I need to get better at it. I need to be like,
Mhm.
I'm starting to, well, I do this with every kid, okay? In the beginning, when they don't talk, I'll talk to them in Spanish. I'll go over like parts of the body, nariz, ojos, orejas, all that stuff. And then they start talking and it goes away. With every, well, with both of the boys, I did that. And for this one, I need to stay freaking consistent, dude. Okay?
There you
I
go.
need to
There you
stay
go.
with it.
There you
I
go.
need, because you ain't lying. It's good to know more than
Because
one
then the
language.
boys will start picking up on it, The boys will be like, "Oh, okay," and they'll start talking to her, So I think I know it's a good thing. And I'm always like, forget what people think. As you get older, I think you understand that. Forget what people think. Live your life. Live.
No, but yeah, you ain't lying. I still think like I'm getting judged for the way I'm talking. I get
Yeah.
judged, even with Kelsey, dude. Kelsey, she understands it, but she doesn't speak it. But I'm still like, I don't feel comfortable talking it like regularly because I feel
Well,
like,
and
oh, I'm gonna get judged.
that's why, just like anything else, there, Omar. Just like we were
You're
preaching in the
right.
beginning of this podcast, is
You're
you
right.
got to get comfortable and just keep
That's what
doing
I'm
it and
doing.
keep doing it.
Exactly.
And just
Yes, sir.
keep doing it and keep doing it. And then sooner or
Yeah.
later, it's sure it might be fun, but then you'll be able to speak it more fluent and be more comfortable around other people. So if somebody else is, that you don't even know is trying to poke fun, I mean, you'll kind of be used to it too then by then, but
Yeah.
okay, whatever.
What I did learn though is for the people, that don't speak English or they speak a little bit of English and I try to talk to them. They're like, I want to learn English. So talk to me in Spanish and then I'll talk to you in English
Hmm.
and it'll be like a back and forth thing. We're both learning from each other. And I was like, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome. At
Absolutely.
least,
Yep.
you're not,
Yes.
because I feel also, I don't know why, but I feel like whenever people speak Spanish, that's all they wanna do. They don't care about anything, okay, they're already stuck in their way kinda deal. It's like, I'm just speaking Spanish, let me just do my
It goes
thing.
back to
You
the word of the
figure
day.
out what I'm saying.
It goes back to the word of the day, comfortability, man. They're
Yeah,
comfortable with it,
yeah,
and they're
that's true.
uncomfortable. Just like you're uncomfortable speaking Spanish, they're uncomfortable speaking a language they don't know, and they are getting judged, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no ifs, ands, about it. They're getting judged and they have to overcome it. But they have to keep
Yeah,
doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, okay? Because that is the language, I mean, is it the world language, I think?
I don't know about that.
I think it is. But yeah, I mean, you have, especially if you're in America, shout out, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta speak it. I mean, because then it's again only gonna hurt you in the long run. I mean, you're not gonna be able to understand things, you're not gonna be able to do certain things, and that's why 2 languages is better than one.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Again, I don't care what languages you learn, but get 2 languages in you, and you can do a lot more.
They they, they're teaching French
Hmm.
in Easton school, Easton and Maverick school, so they
Which
know a little bit of French. Au
Which I
revoir.
always go back to, sorry, I always go back to when I went to Germany, or when you go overseas somewhere. They don't know just 1, they don't know just 2. They got like
That's
5
true.
different languages they know, and I'm
Yeah,
just like, "How?" And they're fluent. It's not like, "Oh, we know how to say the numbers," or "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" They are speaking fluent to people, and I'm just like, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, it's just crazy, but it's freaking awesome that they do that.
yeah, that's true. They got these, yeah, the countries are closer together. So, you get all these countries that it's easy to go to. So it's like, okay, now we're kind of linked to this country. So we got to learn a little bit of that, a little bit of this, whether
Mhm.
it's French, whether it's
Yeah.
German, whether it's Spanish, whether it's whatever else is out there.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it
Portuguese.
Danish or is
Portuguese
it?
as well.
Yeah, Portuguese is, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. to learn more than one language.
Absolutely.
Get that up. Circling back to fight week. We got the weigh-ins tomorrow. We got the fight on Friday. Brian,
Yes,
what
yes,
kind of
yes,
stuff
yes,
are you gonna
yes.
provide for us fight night?
Oof, boys
Or even,
and
are you gonna
girls.
be doing a little breakdown on the weigh-ins?
Just be prepared, folks, okay? I don't want to give too much out, okay? Just be prepared. Tomorrow, the weigh-ins, or actually April 30th, because I don't know when this is going to come out. April 30th, okay? The weigh-ins in Clinton, Oklahoma at the Split Decision Grill, okay? If you guys want the address, it's 2120 West Gary Boulevard in Clinton, Oklahoma, 73601, okay? Weigh-ins start at 4 p.m. Free
Central
admission.
Time.
Free admission,
Yep.
okay? So you guys can come in, grab you something to drink, grab something to eat, and watch these guys as they, hop on the scales and get ready for battle. Because I mean, that's for some people the hardest part is making weight. Okay, so after we get through that battle, okay, then we go to war. May 1st at the Jungle Arena. Okay, and I'll give you guys the address for that too, because I got it written down here. Okay, it's 201 East Commerce Road. Okay, in Clinton, Oklahoma. 73601. What time do the doors open, Omar? 30. Okay, you guys are going to want to show up early. I'm going to tell you that much right now. You guys are going to want to show up early, okay, and get your tickets, okay? And the first bout is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets, folks, okay? Clinton, Oklahoma is going to make history May 1st.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to want to be
Dude.
there. You're going to want to be there.
Dude, you gotta get it. Because, an awesome part about going to a fight is knowing the fighters beforehand. Knowing the story of a fighter going into the ring and
Mhm.
learning what he's fighting for, why he's fighting at all, how he got there. So, I mean, I don't know if you could do this, but could you, scope out a couple fighters and be like, hey man, you wanna sit down and talk and tell the people a little bit about yourself? Get you
Absolutely.
somebody. That'd be
So,
freaking sweet.
so
Dude.
tomorrow that would be on the game plan. Almost giving out spoilers. It's okay.
Shoot, sorry.
But again, I know we've briefly spoke about this. Okay, the 1%. We see the 1% of these folks getting into the ring. We don't see the 99 other things that they had to do before they step foot into that ring. So yeah, absolutely, that's something that would be great to understand and see what they did do before they step foot onto the scales and into that ring. Because again, that's just 1% of what goes into the days and hours they put into the weight room, into the gym, into the whatever it is. And then again, that's just a small percentage too. They still got to go to work. They still got a family to provide for. They've got so much other stuff that they got to do, and who knows what else life throws at them. We all get to see that 1% when they go out there and put it all on the line for us to see. So I'm telling you all, come out to Clinton, Oklahoma, and watch these people put on a show for us. Put it all on the line for us.
That's
Come
right.
on now, get
Dude,
excited.
that's gonna be and also if you cannot make the fight, it's gonna be streamed. It's
It
gonna
is
be
gonna be
streamed.
streamed.
So
It's gonna be streamed.
hopefully we get a little glimpse beforehand. But during the fight, there's gonna be we'll put it on the link or on the description below
Yeah, we'll put the
on
link
how
below.
to get that access.
Yeah.
But you don't want to miss this. It's gonna be
It's gonna
freaking
be
sweet.
it's gonna be an event, folks. I'm
I'm gonna
telling
have
you
a
guys are gonna
shindig
want
at the
to.
house because I can't
Yep.
make it live, and I'm gonna be rooting it on.
I
I'll be
mean,
like,
it's gonna
let's
be a show.
go.
It's gonna be a show. It's gonna seem like an HBO event. It's gonna seem like a really, really. It's gonna be great. That's all I can say. I don't want to say too much for y'all and spoil it, because when you guys get there, you guys are gonna be what's another word for starstruck? Because you guys it's gonna be an event, man. That's all I can say.
You're gonna be mollywopped with excitement. I don't know. I just said something. I don't know.
You're gonna be mollywopped with excitement, folks. Okay, quoted by
Yeah.
Omar Torres. So let's
Uh,
drop that down below. I mean, we got the weigh-ins, we got fights, we got volleyball, we got Cinco de Mayo activities. I
Volleyball.
mean, they just got events after events after events. So if
be
you're in
missing out
Clinton
on
area, anywhere in that area, come on down to Clinton, Oklahoma. They've got stuff lined up. I'm telling you, for pretty much all month long, even longer,
go.
because we've got stuff already planned out for next month. So again, keep you guys' eyes out. We got stuff coming.
That stuff coming. Yeah. So, hey, if y'all want to stay in the loop, follow us on the Instagram, follow us on the TikTok, especially Brian on his journey. Follow us or give us a subscribe on the YouTube. Cheers
Mhm.
to Health
Shout out, cheers to
podcast.
health.
All right?
Shout out, boys.
We're gonna be
Hey,
doing things,
surely.
and I want y'all to go in for the ride. Hey, and
Shout
cheers
out,
to
folks.
health.
Cheers to health. Drink your water.
Sweet.